What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. You're watching another Izzy's review. It's been a while since I've been on camera, but look, it is winter and I've been down to make this video because I save my plants. I have peppers, I have tomato, and I have basil. We survived the freeze. So really quickly, we're going to talk about effective ways to heat your greenhouse during the winter. All right, so I got my bag of goodies, and I'm going to tell you hours of research, hours of TikToks, crying, and staying up for 24 hours has led us here. So really quickly, 3 or 4 methods. 1, hair dryer. And keep in mind, I'm not recommending these. I'm just telling you thoughts that have crossed my mind and things that I may or may not have done because some of these may not be the most safe. So these are just going through my mind. I'm not recommending these methods. Hair dryer. Plug it up, pop it in there. I did not go with this. I mean, I think it could work, especially with bursts of heat. I would not recommend plugging it up, putting it in there, and walking away. No, but I did stick it in there and heat the air once every hour. And for context, I have 2. One larger one, and I'll show you a picture. So I can walk in, I can stand up, and one I have to crouch over. The larger one had a different method, and I was trying to heat the smaller one. So, I mean, this is the first time we dropped the freezing here in the South. So I would heat the outside of it, stick it in there, and heat the inside, and I would see the leaves going like that. But this, it makes the air dry, you know what I'm saying? So step 2, people talked about these water submersion or these tank heaters. I didn't buy the right thing. As you can see, like, I have to do a full review on these, but this is like for heating oil, big barrels of things, and by the pictures, like if you're camping, individual cups of water for like coffee, things like that. And I used a metal pot, not this one, it was deeper. Put one in the water, and the water is supposed to heat the greenhouse, right? And tons of videos, people are like, yeah, get a big black barrel, stick it in there, and the heat will heat the water, and the water will release heat into the greenhouse. Okay. This made steam because there's no heat settings. Sauna. Okay. What's wrong with that? I didn't think anything was wrong with that until, you know, the temperatures drop into the first freeze. It peaked between 1 and 2 a.m. At that point, because I plugged it up around 9 or 10, the heat was working. I'm like, yes, it's working, but now it's sauna. But because it's so close to the 2 a.m. freeze mark, I couldn't turn it off. And this is in my head. I cannot turn this off because the water that's in here is going to freeze. And that's what I'm preventing. They're in the greenhouse to protect their leaves from water and cold. But because the water was evaporating, it was so much water, like a steamy shower. I knew that if I turned it off, it would kill my plants. So I stayed up for 24 hours until the sun came up and peaked around noon, checking on this, not this particular pot, but checking on the pot, refilling it with water because it was quickly evaporating. And I'm like, I've come too far to not make it at this point, right? So this is the second method. And before I move on to the third, I will say heavy plastic, big barrel, at least 5 gallons, and something that has a sturdier little clamp, because it wasn't really that sturdy. And something like a beta fish tank heater or a goldfish tank heater. This is an immersion one, no heat setting. It fizzle, gets hot. The water could literally boil depending on how much is in there, right? So had not my heater, like my portable heater, worked, I would have ordered another one of these things, but the right kind. So that's my third method, a heater. I've been using a heater and I watch it and I don't let it stay on overnight, things like that, because of the dangers of watching heat sources that I can't really like spell out. But yeah. Always, always, always be careful and be mindful whenever you're heating your home or outside space, because things happen. You have smoke, you have things that might combust. It's dangerous, but it's also necessary. And I have seen people online really resort to portable heaters, or they install heaters into their greenhouses. And I keep pointing over here because it's over there. Fourth way, right, is the terracotta pot and candle situation. I have lit candles in my bathroom, right? And eventually the candle does heat the space. So I know this method works, but for me, the candle was too small, right? And keep in mind, this is in real time. The temperature's dropping. I'm trying to save my plants. The pot is too small. I have a bigger version. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab it so I can show you. All right, I grabbed it. This is the bigger version. I tried a little and a big, and then I even tried putting the little inside the big. I didn't want to invest in a large one because they're not cheap, but they're not terribly expensive. But I didn't want to. I had already invested in the other heating method, so this was just me trying to figure out which one. So problems that I ran across with this, because it did work. It did heat it up. The candle was too small. You need a sizable candle. And I had these candles, but people are also saying the little tea light candle should work. This isn't going to work long term. It's not going to stay lit long. And this is what I tried that night that it went freezing. It's not enough. This I worry because of the glass. I don't recall seeing anyone with glass, but the wick stayed lit a little longer. Because also you need a big enough flame, because I feel like it was suffocating. This is how big the hole is. It has to breathe, right? And I went ahead and put foil down because, as you saw, the other one, the candle melted. But if I had a greenhouse that was like at least 6 feet away from the home and had a concrete or a gravel floor or ground, I would feel more comfortable doing multiple of these, because I'm just so paranoid. I couldn't go to sleep with a candle in this and walk away. Even though I have like a piece of granite, a granite cutting board that I put it on. So I felt like this would heat, and because you really can't catch granite on fire. And it had little feet on it, that it wasn't going to heat the space and I would risk combustion or, any type of flame. But I don't know if because I don't leave candles on and go to sleep. But this method does work. How many you need for the space? Like, this is too small. I would say no more than 5 by 5 feet. And you need to get a head start. You can't go in there when the temperature is already freezing and then put these in there and expect it to catch up. That's just my opinion. And I'm new to it. This is my first time trying to save my plants. Other than the the tarp method. Tarp and plastic and sheets for the first 2 years didn't work. I even tried the pruning and put them in a warm spot. They never came back after winter. So this is the first year. Tomatoes, we got some lettuce, we got some basil. And I planted some leafy greens like some Swiss chard, and we made it through the first freeze, guys. And these are the 4 methods that I tried. Let me know what methods you tried. Let me know what methods work. And I will say, tweaking it and doing it in a more effective way, because I'm scrambling, will work. All 4 methods have their place. Maybe not the blow dryer method, but the other 3, the terracotta pot, the submersion heater, and the space heater. All of those are good temporary short-term solutions depending on the space of your greenhouse and depending on your climate. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, with much love, mwah, Izzy. Mwah.